Welcome to the weekly weather briefing for Monday, June 25th, 2018. Here is the overview. Temperatures this week will be below normal through most of the week. We had a cold front come through this morning. And these temperatures will probably stay below normal until this weekend when they'll begin to moderate back up towards normal. As far as the weather is concerned, for the next week over eastern Washington and northern Idaho, no major storm systems are expected. We do expect some minor disturbances with showers, mainly in the mountains from Thursday onward. And as far as the winds are concerned, we are looking at breezy winds at times, especially near the Cascades, and this condition will be pretty much through the week. Here's the overall satellite view. Last night we had a cold front move through us. Last night and early this morning we see that moving out into Montana now. And in the wake of that front we have become quite windy and dry over the region. And this front is bringing in some cooler than normal temperatures. If you look off the coast, that weak upper level ridge that will be over us for the next 2 days is going to continue the breezy conditions, but it's not going to do much to raise our temperatures before the next cold front, which you see way out over the Gulf of Alaska, where the cold front will be moving in through around Wednesday night or Thursday, and that's going to bring a weak weather system. Might be a few more clouds over the basin, but mainly if there's going to be any precipitation out of that, it's just going to be showery, and it's going to be over the mountains surrounding the Columbia Basin. The cold front this morning did bring a great deal of thunderstorm activity through the area. Most of it was confined to the Okanagan Highlands area, maybe into the Kettle Range and into the Stevens County area. We did get some severe winds out of this. It's highly unusual for thunderstorms to produce severe weather in the middle of the night, but this front was indeed strong enough to do that. Our next front on Thursday is a different orientation and not nearly as strong, so we are not expecting any thunderstorms with that front as it comes through Wednesday night and Thursday. The front has brought dry conditions and quite windy and gusty conditions across much of the region. It looks like in the valleys immediately adjacent to the Cascades, we might achieve critical wind and RH conditions for red flag warning conditions right out there in the Wenatchee area up to Chelan, the Lake Chelan area, Entiat region. And there is a wind advisory also in the Kittitas Valley. However, we don't expect critical relative humidities or the relative humidities to reach critical values there. However, be aware that across the Columbia Basin for the rest of the day and into the early evening, it will be quite breezy and gusty and dry. And those breezy conditions will probably continue through Tuesday and Wednesday. We aren't expecting any precipitation in the next 2 days. However, breezy conditions will continue, especially near the Cascade Gaps. And this means if any fires get going, they will have the potential to spread quite rapidly in the dry cheatgrass and sagebrush of the Columbia Basin. On or about Wednesday night or Thursday, our next cold front will move through the region and bring that weak weather system through. And we do expect that to trigger some hit and miss scattered showers focused over the mountains all around the Columbia Basin. And there may even be some isolated thunderstorms both Thursday and Friday, especially over the northeast mountains of Washington and far north Idaho. However, this system doesn't look like it's going to affect the Columbia Basin very much. We're looking at mostly sunny conditions, probably still some breezy winds with it though as well. And then on or about Sunday or Monday, towards the end of our forecast period, looks like a new upper level ridge tries to build in. It increases temperatures a bit, clear skies out, so we don't really have a precipitation threat for Sunday and Monday, except maybe over the high terrain of the Idaho Panhandle. Our high temperature trend generally looks like it's going to be quite well below normal for the next week or so, maybe moderating back up towards normal by next weekend as that upper level ridge starts to build in. And for the 8 to 14 day outlook, featuring the first week of July, it looks like the odds strongly favor cooler than normal temperatures for the region. However, as far as precipitation potential is, the signal is not as strong, just a slightly increased chance of wetter than normal conditions in the northern reaches of the forecast area, whereas it looks like it's going to be more or less seasonably normal in the southern reaches. So the one main thing we can get with this, we're fairly confident it's going to be cooler than normal for the first week in July, but not so much as far as precipitation is concerned. And stay informed. We have a number of resources available on social media. We invite you to follow us and get an update on the forecast, especially as the holiday weekend approaches. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will do this again next week.